Hey y'all, Tyborg here. I'm back again to review another one of my fights in Ranked in Thrill of the Fight 2. For those of you who are new to this channel, I am a highly rated player in Thrill of the Fight 2, rating around 2600 currently, peak rating over 3000 around the time the game came out. This is a new series of videos I've just started where I basically take a fight that I either had in Ranked or maybe a league, something like that, and I watch it myself and go through it and take a look at my form, take a look at what my opponent's doing, what I'm doing, and kind of talk through it, share with you what I'm thinking and what I see from it. And hopefully you'll find that entertaining, and hopefully for folks who are trying to get better at the game, you can maybe learn some tips, see what's working for me, or in cases like this video, maybe what's working for my opponents. So this video is a little bit different than my last one because in this one I get beat quite badly. I tried my hand against a 2800, which generally is gonna mean there's gonna be some cheesy gameplay and or someone who just hits very, very hard in the game. And really it was the latter in this case. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm gonna watch this. I'm gonna tell you what I'm seeing and what I'm thinking, and let me know in the comments, do you think this guy was outboxing me, or do you think that his power is coming from the game being a little bit gamey? So let's see. Let's go ahead and jump in. This is my first time watching this all the way through. As I was piecing it together, the footage I watched a little bit, but this will be new for me and for you, I think. Let's see. Okay, so starts out not too bad. You can see I'm starting with a little bit of head movement, and I always try to kind of take my time. He catches me there. You can see he throws these very short punches. I'm gonna pause it at some of the stuns and knockdowns, so you can see some of these things. In fact, that one just a second ago. Let's take a look here. Wait. Let me see if I can come back. This is a white flash, which is like the biggest hit you can take that doesn't stun. Look at, we're face to face. I mean, look at how close we are. We're a few inches from one another, and boom. That's like if I went, huh, and hit you right here. If I just went, huh. So that's one issue where I think the game makes it too easy to generate a lot of power on these super short shots that don't have any real sort of load or wind up. But let's keep going. I don't want to spend too much time on that. You can see I'm throwing shots that are much longer trajectory. But also here, at this point in the fight, I still feel like I'm probably winning. Like, I'm landing more than him. Maybe my shots don't hit as hard, but yeah, there he caught me with 3 shots in about a third of a second. Oh, okay, so I did slow down the footage to make, for every stun, to make it easier to go back and analyze these. Of the stuns, this is the one that probably frustrates me the least. It's the one that I feel like I deserved the most, I think. So let's see. We've jumped back to it. You can see here, I've just thrown a hook, and I'm kind of ducking my head down, and he hooks around to the other side. He's throwing to my left, which is the side that has a hand down, and boom, catches me clean. And so that's fair. It looked like it was kind of coming way around, so I'm not sure that it hit a weak point, but I was completely open there. So reasonable, fair. Here you can see I'm still landing quite a bit on my end, but I'm not getting stuns off of these. Alright, there's a lot of this close stuff. It becomes very uncomfortable. You see, once he gets close, he just kind of like spams out a quick combo is what it feels like to me. I don't know what he looks like on his side. Okay, yeah, oh my goodness, look at that. All right, so let's take a look at this. Try to see what happens here. This one is ridiculous. Okay, so I'm just gonna say it. This one frustrates me quite a bit watching it back, because if you look, check out how I'm defending here. I've got my left hand up, answering the phone, look at my chin tucked. So between the shoulder and the hand, and the glove should come a little bit higher than the hand, there is absolutely nowhere to hit me there besides wrapping around and hit me like back here, which would not stun. Absolutely would not. And you can see he's throwing it from super close. So he's kind of wrapping a punch around the back of my head. And you can see my hand's still here, my hand's still here. Boom. There's the flash. Look at where I'm at. I'm tucked. Everything's covered. Okay. And then I'm blind, so I don't know what the next punch is, but boom, boom, knockdown. You're going to lose usually when that happens. Really frustrating. So I don't know what I can do differently there, but let's go ahead. And that's really what gets you to 2800 right now in the game, is you have to have that inexplicable power on these sort of short punches. So you'll see I start to get really much more aggressive as this fight goes on, because I know that I need to get back knockdowns. So you can see here I'm immediately boom, 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 3-punch combo. There, some of those hooks are kind of sloppy because I know that I'm landing a lot. I hear a lot of grunts. So I'm like, maybe I can get him back. Look, you can even see his face is starting to get, and then he starts doing that thing where you start rolling to hit people's bodies and stuff. Okay, boom. Oh man, this is my second most frustrated. So this is knockdown number 2 in the first round. And here you'll see, here's a couple of things I want to mention here. First of all, my hooks here are not great because I start speeding up to try to, the game will do this to you. It makes you start throwing too fast, and then you're not really getting good body rotation on all your punches. So like that has decent rotation. This one, look at that. That arm is ahead of the body. And look, my arm is now across. Like, this is not a good hook on my part. But regardless of that, let's forget that my form is a little sloppy on these punches. This hook down here was pretty good, actually. Boom. And then I throw a little bit sloppy. But look, he's hurt, which is why I'm pressing. I want to get the knockdown back. You can see the little droopy face. It's not a stun. That means he's got some punishment on him. And then, boom, I land a shot. This is not my best form hook, but this is actually not bad. Look, there's rotation here. Boom. That hits him. He proceeds to ignore getting hit. And then watch this punch he throws that stuns me. From that close. He's this far from me when he throws that. Alright, so boom. Stun. And then immediate. I'm still blind. Boom. Who knows what the next shot is? You'll never know, because you're blind. So that's frustrating, because now I'm down 2 knockdowns, which means it's probably unsalvageable. But, you know, I'm going to keep trying. I'm a very competitive person, so I really want to see if I can take on these 2,800 guys even. I see he does this little thing right there. Maybe he's saying he hit me with an uppercut. I threw some heat on those. Those actually look good. Seeing that couple little pitter-patter hooks. You know, I know I've still got him hurt, so I'm still trying to lay some pressure on to get it back. See, he does that ducking down thing. That's so strong in game. As soon as you're hurt, just duck your head down and start swinging it around, and there's not much hitbox to hit. But, alright, finally got a knockdown back here, but I did get stunned in the process, so this is a good one to take a look at. So, what happens here? Where does he stun me? Alright, first of all, this is why we need to tighten the clinch, because look at this. He's like in me, right? I'm seeing half of his back, and the other half of him is in my gut. Yeah, look. And now he's kind of popping out from inside of me, and I'm looking for him. Like, oh, where is this guy? Boom! As he pulls out from inside of me, he throws a hook from like inches away. Stunned. But then I know he's still hurt. I know that I cannot just run away. And I actually load this up pretty hard. You can see, look, the hip twist, the legs kind of lock a little bit. Big, just kind of an overhand there. Boom! Probably hit that on the chin, I guess. I'm not sure. And I finally get knocked down. So 2 knockdowns to 1. This is basically the end of the round here. Alright, one thing I will give him, very good sport. Wasn't doing a lot of the cheesy gestures and stuff, wasn't taunting, see glove touch, so I don't want to hate on him for that. I just think that his punches should not deliver the amount of power that they do in game. Alright, so here I'm throwing some heat. And then I got stunned again. And then I got stunned again. And then I got knocked down. Alright, so let's take a look at this whole sequence. Let's go back. Leading up to these stuns, these are some nice punches on my part, I think, actually. So you can see here I'm covered up. From there, I should not have dropped that hand. Look at the... What is he doing? He's got his arm back here. That's not... What is that? Okay. Throw a hook. Lead hook. It's pretty decent. Nice cross. Another lead hook. Boom. And then... Boom. It's the same little, like, kind of thing, I think. See that? Yeah, boom. And then from there, it's just survival. I'm blind, I'm running away. And boom, another very short hook. And then who knows? Black screen. Okay, so that's knockdown 1 in the second round. Let's go. Here I decide maybe my best approach instead of getting knockdowns back is to make sure I'm getting my hands back when I'm throwing, but it doesn't work. So let's go back, see what happens here. The amazing thing with this guy, most people, they catch you with a stun, they try to chase you down, you run away, they might knock you down because you're super vulnerable when you're stunned, or you might survive. This guy, every time he stuns me, immediately, like, he had to be like, bam, without even retracting in between, because there's no time to even think before you go from blind to black screen here. So here, it's this same punch again, I think. The same, they'll call it a cross because it's coming in straight, but it's more of a cat paw kind of thing. See, because a cross should be coming from like this position, not this position. But yeah, so it looks like, I think, yep, that's the one. Boom. It comes in so short and so quick when there's no recoil, there's no wind up. And then black screen. Who knows? Maybe another one of those. Maybe it's just bop, bop. Alright, so that's knockdown 2 in the second round. Now I know I'm done. I was down 2 knockdowns and 1 in the first, 2 knockdowns here. So I think I get a little bit frustrated and just go head hunting. Look, there's show a little bit of frustration there, but I did still glove touch him. We got to box for a second there without any flashes. A few nice exchanges here. He's not doing anything like super goofy. It's just he has bricks in his hands throwing a punch that's, I don't think, a very good punch. Oh! And then here I just start swinging for the fences. I said, I'm not going to run away this time. Alright, so a couple of things I want to look at here. First, the stun. This one I think is a little less unreasonable. Yeah, so I do have my hands up here, but they are not tight. So there's a gap to slip a hook in, and I think he probably lands that on the chin. So I'm not going to complain about that one. But now I'm blind. I start swinging. I said, screw this. And the shot, oh my goodness, look at that. The shot that takes me out is like, he's thrown across his body. Look at the avatar here. He probably just does this. That shouldn't hit that hard. But yeah, I earned that one a little bit more than some of the others. So yeah, that's the whole fight. That 3 knockdowns in this game is a TKO, technical knockout, which means it is over. So what are my takeaways here? I could have fought cleaner. I probably should have fought cleaner. You can look at my form. You can see when I started trying to get back the knockdowns, I started getting a little arm punchy, throwing in really fast hooks behind each other that didn't have enough load on them. I don't think it would have made any difference. There's no way that I could have won this fight without figuring out how to throw this punch that gets the stun every time. That's really the difference. So if anybody's been curious about what it looks like at the very top level of the game, 2800 is pretty close to the top. I've seen a couple of people around 2900. I don't think there's anybody over 3000 at the moment. There might be somewhere, but I haven't seen them yet. So 2800 is very, very close to the top rating wise. And so that's what this looks like. You basically have to have godlike power, because even if I was being very technical, defending extremely well, there's just no way, if you can throw a punch that short and fast, front and to the side, I can't cover everything. And clearly I could not make him respect my power in the same way I had to respect his. So, that being said, y'all go to the comments, let me know, like I said, do you think I got outboxed here? Do you think I got outgamed here? Some combination of the two. If you like this content, as usual, please like and subscribe. I will see y'all next time. Go kick some virtual butt.